Okay, today, 26 albums, A to Z, from the year 2000 and on. I'm going to try and do it in less than 26 minutes. Let's see if I can pull it off. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome to Northern Revolutions. I'm Rob. Welcome back if you're returning. Welcome if you're new. There's a challenge going around the vinyl community that I was intrigued by. Rob Walker over in England did 26 albums A to Z from the year 2000 and on. Sort of issued that as a challenge, and a lot of folks have taken up that challenge. Some good friends of mine have done it. Martin Estad has done it. Richard from Richard's Vinyl Tap House has done it, and some others. So I thought I'd give it a shot. I had to cheat on a couple, but I think they're okay. Rob, I apologize in advance. A lot of these are going to be Canadian. Nothing I can do about it. That's a lot of what my collection is, especially stuff post-2000. So bear with me. I think I've got it done. I'm going to try and be quick on these so we don't go 26 minutes. So, letter A. Are You Ready by Blue Rodeo. Came out in 2005. My favorite band, legendary Canadian roots rock institution. This is a sort of not lesser known, but lesser appreciated album in their catalog. It doesn't get a lot of love. Only a few hundred copies of this on vinyl. They just don't exist. Good luck. It's probably the most expensive, hard to find Blue Rodeo album on vinyl. B. An album called Breaking Dawn by Cuff the Duke, another Toronto band in Blue Rodeo's orbit. They're kind of a alt country sort of band. Took like a 12-year hiatus and just came back last year with a surprise album, which was this, Breaking Dawn. Great alt country, sort of in the vein of Uncle Tupelo-ish, with a little more rock to it, I guess. Hard to say, but Breaking Dawn. C. Concertos and Serenades by Adam Baldwin. I've talked about this a lot, and I will continue to heap praise and love on this album because it's one of my top albums of all time. Adam is a rock musician from Eastern Canada. However, this is a folk record, and it is phenomenal. It's full of stories, fictional and real, about the gritty side of life in the Maritimes or Eastern Canada. Absolutely phenomenal. One of the greatest albums I've ever heard. Concertos and Serenades by Adam Baldwin. D. Dirty Honey. Band I discovered on YouTube. They're rockers from California, I believe. This is kind of in the vein of that sort of like throwback 70s kind of rock, but made today. This came out just a couple years ago. Just a fantastic throwback rock album. And luckily, this is a signed copy. E. External Combustion by Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs from 2022. This is Mike Campbell's project since Tom Petty's passing. He fronts this band. They're kind of a blend of the Heartbreakers and garage rock is kind of what I think of it. There's 3 albums. This is their second. It's incredible. F. From Burnside with Love by Matt Mays from 2021. This is a 3 LP live album. Matt Mays is an incredible Canadian rock musician. Adam Baldwin, who I mentioned earlier, Concertos and Serenades. That's Adam right there. He's Matt's guitar player. This was recorded just before the pandemic. It was a show in Quebec, and it's a live, think MTV Unplugged. It's a acoustic career retrospective of songs from all of Matt's discography, and it is phenomenal. F. From Burnside with Love from Matt Mays. G. Grace Potter and the Nocturnals, self-titled album from 2011. This is one of my favorite bands of all time. I loved Grace Potter and the Nocturnals. I think they did 5 or 6 albums before they broke up, or should I say before Grace blew up the band because her ego got too big. But nonetheless, these folks were absolutely incredible, kind of a 70s flavored blues rock. Incredible. This is a great album. I really, really miss this band, and her solo stuff sucks compared to this. So G, Grace Potter and the Nocturnals. H, Heavy Lifting by Amanda Marshall, 2023. Big Amanda Marshall fan. I've said before, I showed this on the live stream last night. This is she's a Canadian artist. She kind of sounds like Sheryl Crow with a little more soul. She had 3 incredible albums in the late 90s, early 2000s. Took a long break from music. This is her comeback album from 2023 called Heavy Lifting. It's very, very good. If You Don't Come Home, You'll Know I'm Gone by The Wooden Sky, a band I've seen many, many times from Toronto. Contemporary folk, electric folk, I guess. These guys have about 5 or 6 albums. This came out in 2009. Some of my favorite Wooden Sky songs are on here. Oh My God, It Still Means a Lot to Me. That's an amazing song. The Late King Henry. Just a great folk record. So If I Don't Come Home, You'll Know I'm Gone. J, Joy State of Mind by Elise Aaron. This was some VCLT from my friend Curtis at Young LP Lovers, who I discovered this album through Curtis. He talked about it in one of his videos. She is a great rock singer from Eastern Canada. I hear a little bit of Stevie Nicks vibes in there, I've said before. Elise is incredible. Great rock album from 2023. So for J, Joy State of Mind. K, King of This Town by Black and the Rodeo Kings. Kind of a super group, I guess. You've got Stephen Fearing, Colin Linden, very famous producer, and Tom Wilson, a.k.a. Lee Harvey Osmond. Great rootsy folk rock. I don't really know how to describe it. This is their album from 2020. And this was a gift from Brian at Embryonic Robot when he and I met up a year and a half or so ago when we went record shopping. So K, King of This Town by Black and the Rodeo Kings. L, Liquor Store Flowers, one of my favorite albums. This is an artist named Davnit Doyle. She's an incredible Canadian singer-songwriter. She's been making music for 25 years. This is from 2019. My favorite of her albums. It's just a great contemporary rock record. So Liquor Store Flowers by Davnit Doyle. M, My Father the Hunter by the Strumbellas. They had a huge hit a few years back with Spirits off their album Hope, Annoying Song. Great band from Peterborough, Ontario. I saw them before they were famous. This is their first album, and it's kind of it's upbeat folk rock with a lot of 5-part harmonies and stuff. Really good. This came out in 2013. N, Nothing Is Wrong by Dawes. Another one of my favorite albums of all time. Brothers Goldsmith from Laurel Canyon in California. They have that Laurel Canyon sound. They kind of sound like an indie rock band from Laurel Canyon. This is a fantastic album from, I believe, 2011. Incredible album. O, Orion, You Are an Island by Dustin Bentall and the Smokes. One of my favorite Canadian bands. I loved this band when they were around. I saw them every chance I got. I know Dustin. I know Kendall, his fiddle player. I know Del Calso, his bass player. This is a combination of 2 EPs, one called Orion and one called You Are an Island. And this came out in 2013. Great sort of stoner rock with some country. That's kind of how I describe them. I really miss this band tremendously. Orion, You Are an Island by Dustin Bentall and the Smokes. P, Panther in the Dollhouse by Whitehorse, 2017. Whitehorse is a band I've talked about a lot. I love them. I just saw them in concert. It's a husband and wife, Luke Doucette and Melissa McClellan from Sarah McLachlan's band. They're from Hamilton, Toronto area. They have multiple albums, different genres. They have a blues album, a folk album, whatever. This is kind of their pop rock album, I guess, from 2017. Has one of my favorite Whitehorse songs in here called Nighthawks. It's fantastic. Kind of a little bit ambient rock, maybe. I don't know. I also have a test pressing of that album. There's only 4 of them in existence, and I have one of them. So, for P, Panther in the Dollhouse by Whitehorse. Q, Queen of Me by Shania Twain. Do I like this album? No, it sucks. But I bought it because I was curious to see how it measured up to her Mutt Lange era stuff, and it's not nearly as good. And this came out in 2022. R, Red by Taylor Swift. This is Taylor's version. 2021 was her re-recording of her album Red. I don't need to say anything more about this. I'm a Swiftie. If you're not, that's okay, but I like it. R, Red. S, South of Here by Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats. I discovered these guys within the last month or so. Never heard of them before. And then I heard I saw an ad on YouTube for their tour, and they played the song Heartless on this ad. I thought, that's fantastic. So I saw them do a great cover of Bruce Springsteen's Dancing in the Dark. So I bought this album, South of Here, which came out in 2024. T, Terribly Good by Skye Wallace from 2022. She's a rock musician from Toronto. This is very much like Heart. That's what it makes me think of. That sort of barracuda, both in the voice and the nice crunchy guitars. So Terribly Good by Skye Wallace. You, Under the Covers, the very best of, by Susanna Hoffs and Matthew Sweet. Susanna Hoffs, my fantasy wife. Love you, Susie. This is a collaboration that was done between 2006 and 2013. This compilation came out in 2020, and it's just Susanna and Matthew Sweet doing covers of songs, and it's fantastic. V, Voyage by ABBA. This was the reunion album that came out in 2021 after 40 years. I at first did not like it, but I've just given it another chance just recently, and it's actually a pretty good album. Is there a banger single on there? No, but it's still a very, very good record. With letter W, we're going with Warmth of the Sun by the Skydiggers. This came out in 2017. Skydiggers are a roots rock band from Toronto that have been around since the 80s. They're incredible. I've seen them many, many times. My friend Noel from high school is their drummer and has been since like 2009. Just a great straight up rootsy record. Warmth of the Sun by the Skydiggers. Letter X. I got to cheat on this a little bit. I don't have anything that starts with the letter X. So I'm going with Exit Wounds by the Wallflowers. It contains X and it sounds like X, exit. So this is what I'm going with. This was the most recent Wallflowers album from 2021. It's Jacob Dylan, basically. Very good. I enjoy it a lot. Not as good as Bring Down the Horse, but it's still a really solid record. Why? I have to cheat on this one. I don't have an album, but I do have a single. This is a woman called the Coppertone. Her real name is Amanda Zelina. And this is a single called Youngblood. That's what I got to go with. Amanda doesn't record as the Coppertone anymore. She's got some other moniker she records under, but this is just kind of straight up rock with some blues in there. Really, really like it. Youngblood by the Coppertone. And lastly, for the letter Z, I'm going to go with the EP that U2 just put out summer last year. Zoo TV, live in Dublin, 1993. That's exactly what it says it is. And it's actually really, really good. I wish they put out the whole concert. Whew. There you go, Rob Walker. A to Z with a couple cheats, but I hope that's okay. That was fun and a little difficult, but enjoyed it nonetheless. Please, everyone, check out Rob Walker. Let the music play. I'll leave the link to his original video in the description. I hope you enjoyed that, folks. That's everything for me. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the flip side.